So, who do we think is going to be going through to the final 8 in the Champions League? Massive tie between PSG and Real Madrid. I think it's going to be the Spanish Giants, who I think have got the experience, a lot of composure in their team, a very successful team so far this season at the top of the table as well. And they've got that confidence to take into this tie. PSG, unfortunately for me, are going to get caught out in this round by the fact that Liga doesn't have the strength of other divisions. And I just don't think they've got the overall teamwork to go through against Real Madrid over 2 legs.
Yeah, we've done a fantastic preview on this, if I do say so myself, with Rodri, ESPN's Rodri. So make sure you go and check that out, talking about this game in detail. I agree. I think this is Real Madrid. I think, they're just playing brilliantly and they're not as jaded as they were last season, been able to rest a few players. The injuries are a big part of this tie, Neymar, Ramos, Benzema, possibly not as well. So that's going to be crucial. But I agree with you. I think Real Madrid will just sneak through unless Messi does messy things. We move on to Sporting versus Man City. I mean, this would be one hell of a shock. Looking into Sporting, they're a team that's been very different in different Champions League games to get themselves through. Some games they've won without possession and created great stuff on the counter-attack. Other times they've had the possession of the ball. I think they won't have the ball because it's Man City. I think it might be a bit trickier than people think, but I do expect Man City to walk through this. They have that hunger, that desire to get this job done.
Inter Milan against Liverpool. Huge tie for both of these teams. Personally, I think it's going to be very, very close, but I have to edge Liverpool, their ability to score goals. We talk about it so much, but you've got Mohamed Salah, who's the best player in the world right now. A very resolute defence with Virgil van Dijk back there as well. Of course, Alisson in goal, who maybe hasn't had the best season of his career, but still very, very good. There are too many threats all over the pitch from this Liverpool team. I think they'll dominate both of these games against Inter Milan. And even if they don't hit the heights in terms of goals, they're definitely going through for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think Liverpool in the Champions League, the team is set up for that in a huge way this year. I think Thiago's looking great. Fabinho is going to be crucial in this game to ensure that they're sort of locked into Milan. And then the fullback position is crucial for Liverpool as well. Trent, unbelievable this year. Robertson really getting into great form as well. Next up, Salzburg against Bayern, the first Austrian team to make it into the knockout stage. I think this is one where, again, we talk about the 100% records. You've got Bayern Munich, you've got Liverpool, you've got Ajax, you've got Real Madrid. Bayern Munich's XG difference in that group stage was +10. It was outrageous. And the way that they're playing, it's so attacking and it's so suffocating for the opposition. It's going to be very difficult. I think you might get a few characters that kind of pop up and you go, wow, these are interesting players for Salzburg. And they will then get those moves because Salzburg are a bit of a stepping stone, the likes of Kamara and DM, Seewald as well, and Adeyemi up top. Because on the counter-attack, that's their opportunity. But I just don't see Bayern being stopped in this one.
Chelsea versus Lille, the Club World Cup champions. Do you see any way that they don't go through?
No, I think, look, it's a bit predictable here, guys, with a lot of these. It just feels like these are juggernaut football clubs here with so much depth and quality and control over football matches that it makes it very difficult. Lille as well, of course, aren't the same team as they were last season. They made it through a group with Salzburg that didn't have any of those big hitters, and I think that helped them in terms of getting themselves through that Champions League group. Chelsea will be delighted with that tie. And, you never know. Of course, you never know. And I think there's, like you say, there's going to be, I think, moments of reverberations and shocks. But I think when we get to the end of it, it could be quite predictable in a few of them. And this one, again, I think just goes down the same road for me. Chelsea will be disappointed with how they finished in their group and obviously will be away in that second tie. But surely Tuchel knows what to do here for the whole.
They haven't played very well in their past. In fact, they didn't play very well at the Club World Cup. They didn't play very well in the previous few games before they went away either. They're not in good form. They are quite disjointed in the forward areas.
If we're desperately looking for a shock, maybe with that level of form, maybe this is the one, do you think?
This is the one. Do you know what? They'll probably win the first leg 2-1 or 2-0. It'll be the away tie that maybe they get complacent in. They go away from home. They think we've got a couple of goals. That's the one where actually I'd be more worried because I think Lille might think at that point we've got nothing to lose and we could get another incredible night in the Champions League. So definitely look out for that tie. You're right. If we're desperate to find a shock, it could come there. Villarreal versus Juventus. Very intriguing tie. Go on.
This is the shock, I think. If you can call it that one. Of course, they've, they won the Europa League. Villarreal and Emery are very tactically astute, have great options on the counter-attack, the likes of Chukwueze and Juma as well. And they can stink out a game, guys. I'm telling you, of all these ties, this might be the one to just sort of go and watch the other game, because Juventus as well, sometimes flattered to deceive. Allegri's not that bothered about having the ball at times. So there could be a bit of a standoff here. Vlahovic is a big talking point here. That first game, great scoring on his debut, but of course it was a draw at the weekend for them. I'm going to go with a shock here. I think Villarreal could do something here. I think they might stink out the place, especially away from home, make it very frustrating for Juventus. And if Vlahovic doesn't turn up, I'm going to go with Villarreal for this one. I think they could do it. There's always a shock.
This should be a good tie. I don't think it's going to stink the place out in the way that you think it will. I think on their day, Villarreal can play some very, very good stuff. And actually, I think if they do that, that's going to be their best way of going through. I'm sorry. I know you're sniffing at Villarreal, but
oh yeah, I'm after a stink. But if it doesn't show itself up, I'm okay. I can live with that. So you go Juventus. You think Juventus will make it?
I am. I'm going to tell you though, it's not even going to be the smelliest tie. Because Atletico Madrid versus Manchester United will be the worst tie. Honestly, it might be entertaining, but in terms of quality, these two sides have seriously let themselves down this season. I think it could be open, it could be end to end. We could be on the edge of our seats, but in reality, these two sides are way off where they need to be if they're going to contest in this Champions League like they want to. So just about anything can happen. There isn't much point in making a prediction. Probably going to be 4-3 or 5-4 on aggregate in this one.
Goals.
I think there's going to be goals. I just think the lack of midfield quality at Manchester United is a serious issue for them. They can't really control elements of the game. I do, though, think their best way of going through in this tie is going to be those forward players, the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, who do come up with big moments. And I think they will be wary of that Atletico Madrid. So I think there will be goals. I definitely think there will be goals.
Interesting.
If I had to pick one team to go through, it's probably going to be Manchester United. I think.
Okay. So you think this one's going to honk? I think you might be right there, because in terms of the style of play that Atletico are trying to play these days, trying to have a bit more possession, Suarez hasn't got the legs that he used to have. There is a struggle there. I wonder if Atletico might do a little job on Man United here. I wonder if Cholo will find a way to get them moving in the right direction, because in one-off games I still think they've got that, and they're masters of the dark arts. So I'm going to go with Atletico. Another maybe shock there, but Man United are struggling at the moment. And finally, Benfica against Ajax. I think this could be a bit of a mauling here due to the slow defense that Benfica have. Instead, in terms of expected goals against, they had the highest of any team that's still in the competition with +11. And Ajax, 100% record, scored so many goals. Great on the counter-attack, great energy. They're in their prime. This is Ajax. It's theirs all day for me.
Hi, I'm Hugh Wisencroft from ESPN's Football Forecast. Make sure you're subscribed. You can follow all of our predictions throughout the season and get some other great analysis from our big names as well.